Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all glory and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to the hopeful elect, Christians, virtue, sincerity. And this is the brother Tawab Rashad.
Shemai Ba.
Yahweh Daba.
Me and his brothers got together today in the spirit, man, early in the day of atonement. It's a heavy times we in, man. As you've been seeing on the news, DJ Trump and what's his name, Pete Hegseth. Okay, they had that meeting. Okay, and basically that dude Pete Hegseth, he was speaking about how they could clean the house, man. They fired a lot of those people, that had those different ranks within the military, man. Most of them were people of color and women. And he talked about whipping the military into shape, man. You got to be able to pass your physical. Okay, no men in dresses. Okay, the Lord's putting that warlike spirit in Esau, man. How America once was, man. Because America has become a laughingstock, man. Okay, nobody takes this place serious anymore, man. And that was his whole point. You know what I'm saying? And then all these things you got now. You got the government shutdown. That occurred at midnight. On the Eastern time. When it happened over here on the West Coast, it was 9 p.m. It's a 3-hour difference from the East Coast and the West Coast. But when that took place, Trump already said it, man. That shutdown happens. A lot of federal workers expect to be laid off. You know what I'm saying? And they still don't have any deal on the table. They don't know when they're going to come up with a deal. That's what they're saying. That's why the bill failed, man. Votes they needed to pass, it didn't pass. And all these things that are occurring, and then the shutdown happening on the Day of Atonement, man. So these are heavy times that we're in, man. That Yahweh Yahushai is moving, man. So this is the time, man. This is not the time to get weak in the spirit. This is not the time to be second guessing if this is the truth or not. This is the time to really cleave unto the Lord, man. Cleave unto Yahweh Yahushai, man. Because who knows, man? Any day now, some shit can pop off, man. And we see what's going on with the UK with the digital ID. Okay, we get that much closer to the see it, man. We're getting closer to the third woke. Okay, so it's a lot going on, man. So we just gonna go in the spirit, man. And Lord willing, just be edifying, man. Brother. So let's start with that 2 Ezra 9:1.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, and then we're measuring the time with the scriptures, man. Okay? Because there's signs, there's tokens within these scriptures that gives us an indicator that indicates that we're in the latter times. Okay, wars, rumors of wars. Okay, you got uproars of the people. Okay, you got earthquakes in diverse places, signs in the heavens. We're seeing these things. Okay, and you see what's going on here in Babylon. There's a whole lot of division, man. Okay, especially among these Edomites. A lot of these Edomites, they're they have their different ideologies. They call them parties and whatnot, which is all smoke and mirrors, because really at the end of the day, all those politicians are puppets, man. Okay, behind the scenes, they all cool with each other, man. All that shit is a joke. I mean, yeah, sometimes they have disagreements, but for the most part, they're doing the biddings of the elites, man. Okay, and everything that's going on, that's them trying to push forth that their agenda to establish that NWO. which the Lord is going to allow them to do that to a certain point, you know, but he's not going to allow Esau to fully implement that system, man. He's going to allow Esau to, you know, to establish the CHIP. He's going to allow Esau to, you know, have martial law and all that, okay, to cut off these different cities. But he's not going to allow Esau to, you know, to continue that, you know, with that, you know, he's not going to allow Esau for that his system to come into fruition, man.
Can I read this real quick?
Yep, go ahead.
This is Psalm 37, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Rest in the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and wait patiently for him.
Yep.
Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way."
Right, because we're not supposed to be looking at Esau with that, you know, having that envious mindset, you know, because Esau was set up to be the wicked, okay? All these things that this man is doing, he was set up to do. The Lord created him to be the wicked for his purpose, you know, to fulfill prophecy, okay? So everything that we've been speaking about, starting with Apostles L's on down, okay? All these things that we've been speaking on, these things are coming to pass, man. You're starting to see it, okay? Because like I said, man, the Lord's putting that spirit on Esau to get back in that warlike mentality, man. Okay? And he's going to come down with great wrath, as the scriptures say, man. Go ahead.
It says, "Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass."
Right, because he, you know, Esau is prospering, you know, but it goes back to that the blessing. He was going to receive the fatness of the earth, okay? He was going to live by the sword, okay? Because that's how he's gotten everything through war, okay? And that's why Esau, when he make that statement, he said, "We don't want war, you know." He said, "But in order to achieve peace, you have to be willing to go to war to achieve that." You know, and ever since this man has been in power, that's what his whole MO has been, is to go to war, man. Okay? Go ahead.
That was a point on that.
Yep. So, yep, go ahead.
This is Isaiah 19:2. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother."
Right, and this the modern day Egyptians is Esau, okay? These so-called white people, man. Mainly, you know, within those you know, the government, the Democrats, Republicans, and all that. Okay, they even have inner fightings within the what they call the elites. Okay, and we're seeing that, man. Okay, because even these low-level Edomites, these average everyday Edomites that gotta go to work. Okay, you got what they call it, the left and the right. You know, the right is like the Republican Party, and the left is like the Democratic Party. You know, they got those different phrases like liberal, and conservative, progressive, all these different terms, and they're all divided against each other, man. Because they, you know, one group believes one thing, another group believes another thing. They're not in agreement. Okay. So that's why you have all this chaos. That's why this place is known as Babylon the Great. You know that's why the scriptures speak about, you know, even with us being in truth, we all supposed to speak the same thing, man. How we gonna be in units if I believe in something, this brother believes in something different, this brother over here believes in something totally different? That's confusion, man. Okay, and that's why all this shit is unraveling, man. And it's leading to that time where, you know, where America is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Go ahead.
It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor."
And that happened during that also happened during the Civil War, where you had the Union versus the Confederate. Okay, Edomites. You know, you had Jakes in that war as well. You had Jakes on the Union side. You had Jakes on the Confederate side. Okay, but it was mainly Edomite thing, man. Okay, so now we're coming to a time where that spirit is coming back, that Civil War kind of spirit, man. Because you got these Edomites, because you know when that dude Captain Kirk, you know, got that guy's light turned off. Okay, you had Edomites that were outraged, but you also had Edomites that were celebrating it. Okay, so that shows you that America, or everybody here in America, is now on the same page, man. You know, so they show you that the Lord is putting that spirit of setting the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And what do Yahushua say, man? A house divided against itself cannot stand, man.
Got that right here.
Yep. Matter of fact, read that.
This is St. Mark chapter 3, getting straight to the point at verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
Yep. And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing a lot of division within this society, man. Because even every time they have these elections, right, it's a whole lot of, the elections is all about one party demonizing another party. You know, they run these ads talking about how, you know, you shouldn't vote for this candidate because such and such and such and such. You know, and they do it vice versa, you know. And the whole time it's all bullshit, because when these people get elected and they get in office, they don't never do things that's in the interest of the people. Okay? Because they're puppets. Okay, it's all bullshit, man. It's not basically you're watching like the WWF, man. Okay? These guys, these little politicians are set up here to make it like better, man. They're putting more in bondage, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Right, that house cannot stand. We witnessed that with the shutdown. They couldn't even come into agreement on a deal. Now the government is shut down. You know? So that's and they call it a house. They call it the house. That's you know where they vote. They go on the floor and do the vote. I caught kind of the early part of it. Esau was basically mocking each other, man. One dude, he was mocking one of the guys that was speaking. He said, "Oh, this guy just all he does is complain. He's just whining, and that's basically what they do back and forth, you know." And this time they couldn't come up with a deal, so now the government shut down. Trump basically said that will happen. A lot of fellow workers are going to be in the unemployment line, man. Okay, we're going to see how this is going to, you know, how it's going to affect. The effect of this is how it's going to play out in the coming weeks. But hey, we just know these are heavy times, because they said this is the first shutdown since 2018. Yeah.
This is October 1st, right? Yep. October 1st is like the new, like where the government does its reset, like financially too.
Yeah, fiscal. Yep, fiscal year. Yep. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
Yep. Yes, and we're in the end of this man's rulership, man. Okay, that's why things are on how they used to be, man. You know, there was a time where the society, America, was vibrant at one time. You know, this was like the place to be at one point. You know what I'm saying? And us here, us brothers that's in Babylon, we can see it. You know, brothers that were born throughout different decades. We remember how things used to be, you know, throughout the different decades, man. How things were 30 years ago compared to how they are today, man. And brothers even further, you know, like apostles and elders, they can go way even further, you know.
They even had that show, Good Times, even though they was like in the slums, but it was still better times than you could consider now with all the shit, the money and financial gain that people have, but people still, you know, like how that scripture say, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Yep. Wicked bear rule, people mourn. That's what's going on. Everybody just in a mourning state, but it's so much financial, and you know everything is easy to get to. You know, everything is just like at the palm of your hand. You got your food delivered to your house. But
Right.
people still offing themselves and shit.
Right,
Shit
right,
crazy.
right. Because people nowadays, people are being overworked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they gotta make it to where you gotta order your food now. Because now you ain't got enough time
Yeah,
to
to
make
go
the
get
food
it, yeah.
yourself now, man. You know. And then when you got time off, you don't feel like making nothing because you've been working all these fucking hours. And all you want to do is rest. You know. So that's what. But all this is being done purposely. You know, it's all leading up to that MOTB, man. Because that way, the old way of life which you once knew it here in this society, that shit is over. Them days is over with, man. Them days ain't coming back, man. You know, and hey, we cool with that, man, because we know that's just us getting closer to the Lord returning and taking this man out the way, man. And Lord willing, we be of that elect and we get delivered, man. You know. You had more on that?
That was it on that.
Yeah.
This is finishing off Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Yeah, that sedition among men, that's coming, man. Okay? Because, see, that's a thing that's always been going on with Esau. You go into the history during the time of the Greeks, the Romans, okay? Especially during the time of the Greeks, that's all Esau was doing was murdering each other, man. Okay? They always been, Esau, that's his whole thing. He's a violent man. Okay, he's a bloody man. Okay? And it's no different now today. You know, like I said, man, that dude Pete Hegseth, okay, he's basically trying to he's really trying to remind Esau. You know, he don't really give a damn about you Jakes and you other nations. He's really trying to speaking to Esau, man. He's trying to get him back in that fucking spirit that they were in during World War I, World War II, man. When America was the shit, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get Esau back into that mind frame, man. He's trying to create that environment. But his dumb ass doesn't realize is that shit is over with, man. Y'all had y'all time. Okay, that specific period in history, that was for that period in history, man. That shit, you will never be at that height again, man. You know, that's it. That's why Esau, the militia is trying to, they moving fast. They trying to implement this new this system, man. You know, because they see a lot of people are waking up to what the hell is really going on. A lot of people are waking up to how corrupt the society is, man. Through all these different social media apps, people are exposing the pharmaceutical companies, people are exposing the foods that we eat in our real food. Okay, people are exposing all these what's the word? The cost of living. All these price gouging, all these things that's going on in this society. People are becoming fed up with it, man. Because they're realizing, if you American, you basing a big ass rat race, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Quick, you got one?
I'm glad, man.
Quick one. This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Yep, and that's what Esau is getting ready to do. He's getting ready to come down with that great wrath. Okay? Great wrath is coming to the shores of Babylon, man. Okay? Through the martial law, okay? These foreign troops. Okay? Man, watch, man, when all hell breaks loose, this about to get crazy out here, man. And like I said, we currently in the Day of Atonement right now, but you got so much stuff going on in the earth, man. And the majority of our people, they don't even know, this is a day to fast unto the Lord. Our people are out there. Jake is just out there lost, man. Jake is just out there. Jake ain't thinking about the Lord, man. Jake thinking about the bread and circus, man.
Right.
Jake thinking about chasing that. Jake still chasing after that bag. What bag are you niggas talking about, man? Okay? chasing this imaginary fucking bag, man.
Bag with holes in it.
Right, bag, exactly. Bag with holes in it, bro. You know? Go ahead, bro.
You got it. You got it, free. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 2. It says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made."
Right, this the time that we in, man. Through this measuring of the times, due to the signs that we see that the Lord told us to look for, we see it. So we know this is the time when the Lord's getting ready to visit. The Lord's getting ready to make his return. Come on, Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world."
That's right. And are we not witnessing that? We've been having a whole bunch of earthquakes, aftershocks. Okay? Here in California, which is typical for earthquakes that happen here, but they've been happening more frequently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even what's that? About a year ago, New York City had an earthquake. That shit is unheard of, man. An earthquake in NY, and that shit is scary as hell because they got a whole lot of buildings, big ass skyscrapers. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of them signs the Lord told us to look for, man. You know?
That one they had in the Philippines. It was one recent.
Yep.
They had out there. It was a big one too.
Yeah. All these tsunamis. Okay. All these different hurricanes. Okay. I was talking to the Levite brother, Kahan, last week. We was talking about how the weather is all fucked up here in California. We're not used to having humid conditions here, man.
Right.
You know, because a couple of weeks ago it was raining while it was like 90 degrees and it was raining. You know, that shit is weird. I went to the store in the morning and my fucking glasses was fogging, man. Like I was in a damn steam room. And I was outside. You know, that shit is weird.
Hey, it's showing you that the earth is out of course, man.
Right.
You know, in conjunction with all the shit this devil is doing, everything's out of whack.
Yep.
You know, but it's just another telltale sign that we're at the end of this thing.
Yep. Yep. That's right, bro. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 4, "Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yep. Go ahead.
For like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end, and the end is manifest."
Right. The end is manifest, man. Everything that we're witnessing is speaking for itself, man. The end is speaking loud and clear, man. Those that have eyes to see can see it, man. Okay? Because the brother was talking about the military, man. Look at the U.S. military, man. All this time until this guy, you know, he said what he said, but up until this point, you know, the military is looked at as a joke, man. You know, you got homosexuality at an all-time high. Okay, you got all these different women in these high-ass positions in the military. You know, you look at the military, all you gotta do is look at the military decade by decade, man. And the further you go back, the less women you're gonna see. You know, you're just gonna see men. Okay? And men had a certain look. You know, all the men that were in the military, they all were in shape. They all had pretty much not the same build, but they had the same, like, as far as, you know, shape. All of them was in shape.
Common physique.
Yeah. They had a body of a soldier, man. You know, now dude, that's what the guy was talking about, man. Like, man, we got whip our military into shape, man. You know, because shit. Ain't no think about it. You know, if you go out to war and your enemy see all your men and they not in shape, they overweight or they ain't up to par, that shit, you gonna get steamrolled, man. Okay? That's gonna lower the morale, man.
Man, especially seeing that these devils know they know and understand thoroughly that they about to lock horns with these nations, man.
Yeah.
You know, And for this devil Hegseth to be in the kind of spirit he's in to whip the military into shape is fitting, because they know it's a time of war that's about to take place. Man.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's too late though.
Yeah, but it's way too
You
late.
can't get them in shape quick enough. 'Cause
No.
Right.
you got to get them in the mind state first, and then once they get in the mind state, then you got to fucking get them in shape. So
Right.
it start right here. Them motherfuckers ain't ready in their mind. They
Right.
ain't ready for war.
Hey,
It's
that's
like-
like, you know what I'm saying, and that's the poison of Babylon, man.
Yep.
You know, the countenance bears witness. You know, them being out of shape, the clown-like mentality, the colorful hair. You know,
Mhm.
all that shit bears witness to the kind of spirit that they're fighting for.
Right.
You know,
Right. And also, where's that scripture where it says, this is not a battle by the sword,
kind of.
because this ain't
Yeah.
gonna be like this the third war that's coming when the Lord return. This ain't gonna be long drawn out war. Okay, this gonna be quick, man, because Lord he's the one that's putting that spirit out there. He's getting all these nations in that mind frame for battle. He gonna gather you all in the Middle East, and he gonna fuck y'all up, man. Go ahead, bro.
This is the prophet Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5.
Yep.
For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise.
Right, like when you watch those ancient war movies, where you hear the horses, you hear the swords, clean,
Clashing of steel.
you hear motherfuckers getting ripped, motherfuckers blood getting squirting everywhere, you hear men yelling, ah, you know, this ain't that kind of war. Go ahead.
It says, and garments rolled in blood.
Garments rolled in blood. You know, that's like when you thinking about 300, man. You watch 300, and you see when you see Leonidas in his 300, when they was cutting them Persians up, you can just see the blood going everywhere, going every angle, man. You know, or what's old boy? His son got. He saw his son get his head cut off, and he just went crazy. He went berserk.
Oh, it's the captain.
Yeah, he said he went blood drunk. You know, so this ain't gonna be that kind of war. Okay, go ahead.
It says, but this shall be with burning and
Yeah.
fuel of fire.
Yep, because when Yahushua return, that ship, that's what he gonna shoot concentrated fire at those armies. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter. Okay, nothing was to perceive but the dust and the smell of smoke, man.
A brother just posted about a laser gun, and this is just a regular Edomite, and he just made him a laser gun in his house. And the brother was like, just imagine what, you know, the Most High, Yahweh Shai got planned, because the laser, it did some damage, and it was just about, what, like goddamn, was that 14 inches or something? So imagine the lasers from the chariot, man.
Yeah.
This is just gonna destroy shit, man.
Yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the missiles.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because the missiles are gonna be shot off, man. Okay? So, yeah, man, this ain't gonna be like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you had these drawn out wars, they go on for years and then the war is over. Nah. It's gonna be the war to end all wars, man.
1 hour.
Yep. Speedy riddance of this place, man. That was it on that, bro?
Come.
Yep.
Back at 2nd Ezra 9 and 5, for like as all that is made in the world at the beginning and the end is manifest.
Because because when you go into history, you see the beginning of Babylon. Okay, we seen the start of it, the rise, the peak of it, and now we're seeing the decline of it. We're seeing the end of it, man. Okay, and this is, hey, man, this is things that we desire to see. You know, majority of these people out here, they don't want to see this place go down. You know, they love it here. They love all the even though they a bunch of slaves, but they just like the convenience of, you know, the bread and circus. As long as they got they food, they drink, they got their sport teams to root for, whatever, they cool. You know, damn they people being oppressed, damn, you know, we eating fucked up, we not even eating real food, man. Okay, damn, being over taxed, you know, having to fucking, you know, work all these damn hours so you don't end up on the streets and down where, you know, all they care about is convenience, man. But we coming into a time of the Lord, man, all that's gonna get cut off, man. Okay, when martial law is declared and they cut these cities off, people ain't gonna be able to live like that. Then that's when the Lord, it's gonna be too late for a lot of these people. That's when they're gonna be seeking after the prophets. But guess what? You're not gonna find it.
Precept.
Yep, what?
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Mm-hmm.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
That's right. And that's what we're seeing. Things are not tarrying, man. Things are moving quick. You know, here it is. We already in October. You know, a couple of more months, we in 2026. You know, it felt like it was just, you know, it felt like it was yesterday when it was 2025. They dropped the ball and shit. You know, now here it is. We about to enter, we damn near about to enter another year, so-called. You know, according to Esau shit. You know, but that, you know, the Lord is moving, man. So this is not the time, like I said, man. This ain't the time to get weak. You know, getting in that woe is me spirit, getting in that spirit of feeling sorry for yourself, man. I mean, we all going through shit, man. We all got our demons that we got to battle, okay? But we can't lose hope. We can't lose our hope, because we, at the end of the day, even though we go through what we go through, we have hope, man. This is what gives us comfort, man. The word, man. And see when you're not giving yourself, if you're not giving attendance to this word, your spirit's gonna suffer. You know, just like you know, you gotta eat, right? You gotta eat for your body to maintain, to keep your frame, to keep your body from fucking what's the word? Eating itself. You gotta eat. You gotta feed your spirit too, though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really be locked in, man. Be tapped into what the hell is going on, man. Because this world, it's easy to fucking fall back in that congregation of the dead, man.
That's why today, Day of Atonement, is so, you know, it's a very good thing to be a part of, man, because it's almost like a reset. Even though, you know, you should be fasting throughout the year, but it's something about when we all doing it all at one time, you know. It's that us coming together and doing it, you know. What the scriptures say, where 2 or 3 gathered in my name, there am I in the midst, you know. So it's just like, it just amplified. So it just helps us, you know, to really reset and be grateful and thankful and to repent, you know. Because we know that, man, we nothing but filthy rags, but through Yahweh Shemel Shai, man, Lord will, he have mercy on us.
Right, yep, that's right, bro. It's a reminder that, you know, that we can never do enough, man. A reminder to be humble, man. You know, because this is what atonement, this Day of Atonement is about. It's about humbling yourself and afflicting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because the times that we coming into, man, great affliction is coming. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it ain't gonna be easy, you know. But like I said, we at the end of the day, through this word, we have hope. You know what I'm saying? This is what is going to keep us stable when these times come. You all right? You got more on there?
Yeah, it's probably a couple more verses. It's 2 Esdras 9 and 6. Even so, the time also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing those effects and signs, man. Okay? It's like we recently had that lunar eclipse, the blood moon. You know, right after the blood moon, what happened? We had this meeting. We were saying that, man. When we seen that blood moon, we said, man, something getting ready to happen. But sure enough, they had that meeting, man. That's that warlike spirit is out there, man. You know, war is coming, man.
Hey, Hawk, and the information coming out too. The last time they had a mass meeting like that, the top generals and things like that of this army, I was going back to World War II.
Yep.
You know,
Up in Germany.
Yep.
Yep.
They D-Day. You know, so soon after, that's when it occurred.
Yep.
So, like the brother's saying, this definitely is a time of war, and it's no coincidence that they're doing that mass gathering once again.
Yep. Because all that prophecy, Lord gathering, he's gathering, he's gonna gather all those armies over there in Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, which is the Most High's judgment. You know, because that's the Most High's judgment. You know, that's his determination is to gather all those nations and pour upon them his righteous indignation. Okay? And he's doing this for what controversy of Zion, man. Okay? Because like I said, we ain't gonna be here for far too long, man. Okay? We served our punishment. You know, even though you still got the majority of our people that's still in that simple ass, wicked ass mind frame. You know, eventually they gonna come back in the kingdom in their right mind. But Esau, the so-called white man, and these other nations, but primarily Esau, he got to be taken out the way, man. Okay, and he is going to be taken out the way. And that's the time we're coming into. Okay, still a little more on that.
Yeah, that's the last verse. Yeah. It says, verse 7, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
Yep. That's how, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We're going to be able to escape through our works, man. Our faith, man. Faith without works is dead. Faith and works go hand in hand, man. So the Lord ain't all about lip service, man. At the end of the day, the Lord is looking at your deeds, man, your actions. You know, that's why it's so imperative to be locked in the spirit and really putting forth that effort, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like bros always say, man, we're trying to get the fuck out of here, man. You know, we ain't trying to be numbered among these the wicked out here, man. These wicked ass individuals out here, man. We want to receive that crown from our Lord Yahweh Shai.
That's it, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
That is the conclusion of the whole matter, is to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. By us keeping this day of atonement, that's us, doing it, Even though technically what brothers always say, going to Yahweh Shai already did that for us, when he made that sacrifice. But we do this to show our faith towards the Lord, that we believe on Him, and not only that we believe on Him, we're going to be obedient unto His word to the best of our ability. This is us rehearsing the righteous acts. We're doing this in good faith, okay? To show that the Lord that we're serious about this, man. Okay. Go ahead.
Even them small hats, they got it. It's coming in for them tonight till tomorrow night. But we know that they off. Even though that again we just rehearsing the righteous acts.
Right. Because once again, this is us showing our faith toward the Lord, and not just showing that we have faith, but we showing our faith through our works, man. Not just talking. Because a lot of people go out there, a lot of our people, they always do that. They give lip service, but when it comes to get down, Jake is just all talk, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
Right. So first says to fear the Lord, man. You gotta fear the Most High, man. Not man. Okay. Fear the Lord. So you fear the Lord, you're gonna do what the Lord commanded you to do. Go ahead.
Verse 14. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment.
Every word. Right. Go ahead.
With every secret thing.
Secret. Go ahead.
Whether it be good or whether it be evil.
So if you're doing good in secret, the Lord gonna reward you accordingly. Doing evil secret, the Lord gonna reward you accordingly, man. Okay? Like I said, He gonna reward every person every work that they done. Okay, so nobody's getting away, man. Okay, that's why we always say repent, man. And see, in this Day of Atonement is, you know, it's a way for us to, you know, to show forth that mind frame, man. You know, being in that repentant state. You know, because this is what our foreparents would do to atone for their sins in the ancient time, man. You know, this is like a day to really reflect. You know what I'm saying? And get your mind right, man. Get in tune with how about Shimon Shad, man. Okay, and denying the flesh. So
That's it.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna wrap it up. We don't want to make this too long. Just right to the point, man. Really, man, this was edifying. Brothers and sisters out there. And man, may y'all have a blessed rest of your Day of Atonement, man. Your brothers and sisters be safe out there. Stay strong, man. Keep pushing, man. We almost out this bitch. So with that, we're gonna give all glory and praises to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors and salutations to all for elect Christians, word, true sincerity. Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.